Hey guys, it's 2019 and I've finally graduated from software engineering at San Jose State University. One of the things that filmmaking really requires us to do is create some emotions. And with those emotions, sometimes we tend to think that those emotions come out of some motion, right? This is a big saying in filmmaking that emotion comes from motion, or motion creates emotion. So in this case, we use a lot of these techniques. We use gimbals, we use drones, we use sliders. So sliders are actually really important in filmmaking, and they can be really vital, essential to emotion, and coming from emotion obviously. So sliders can actually come in different types, and it's often confusing and also very costly to invest in a lot of different types of sliders. So I wanted a slider that could work in every single scenario, that I could take it onto trips, that I could use in my professional films as well. So I ended up spending about $500 on this slider from Edelkrone. And Edelkrone was something that provided us some new technology of sliders that you could basically slide it in the motion twice as much more than the actual length of it, which was actually very nice to me, because I could have those long slider shots at a professional shoot, as well as have those long, or keep that short length of the slider in my trips, and I could just throw it in my backpack or something. So I ended up making the mistake of buying the Edelkrone Slider XL, and with this it was actually very long, and I thought that I could use this in any scenario. I could use this at films, weddings, and I could use this at my trips as well. But surprisingly, I've not been able to use this properly. Almost, I would say I've only used it about 3 times in the last 2 years, and the biggest problem with this slider, for me at least, was the ability to not have a tripod which weighs a lot, and it wasn't so stable. And in this case, the slider, every single time it went to the left or the right ends of it, it would actually make the whole rig unstable, and it would bounce it on the left or the right, and sometimes if you don't pay attention, it could actually fall and break your camera. So really not efficient for trips, at least. And if we're talking about something like using it for films at weddings and stuff, it can be really hectic to set this thing up, because you need a proper tripod that doesn't fall over. You need maybe sandbags to weigh it down so that the tripod doesn't fall over again. So taking this thing to trips would mean actually taking a big tripod with you, or sandbags for example, which is really not something that I plan on doing any single time. So I've never used this thing actually in person on any trips, so that just cancels out. And then can I use it on weddings? Well, not really, because you need to invest a lot in setting up. And so for weddings, at least, you sometimes unfortunately don't have that time to set up, and I really wouldn't suggest this to anyone unless you can invest in some time, weight, and money. If you want to use this slider with a motorized slider and using a motorized panning tool, it actually can cost you from anywhere from $400 to $1,000, and that is actually really heartbreaking, because I've already paid $600 for this, and on top of that I would have to pay another $800,000, so a total of like $1,600 to just have a motorized system that just gives me sliding shots. And I believe that gimbals are amazing at that, and however they can't give you like time lapses or hyperlapses in this, or they can't give you time lapses or hyperlapses, but still they're amazing to get those slider shots, because you can actually just take the gimbal and slide it all the way across, and you have your little slider shot, and you also have a gimbal. So I believe that gimbals are really the next level engineering of filmmaking. So in that sense, I have another slider actually. This one's huge. This one's about 32 inches, and this one actually slides all the way across. So this one is great for not putting on tripods for sure, and on the floor you can put it on entrance or if a door or something, and then you can just get that little sliding shot. And it actually comes motorized, and it was only for like $200-300, and this Rhino one is about $300-400 as well, and it's motorized as well. So this is my review for the Edelkrone Slider XL, and if you guys have any questions, or if I did not clear out anything in this video, as still new to this. So if you guys have any questions or anything that I did not cover in this video, please throw a comment down below so I can get to that as soon as possible and answer any of your questions, because I have not been able to use this thing for the last 3 years, as I've said before. Or if you guys have any alternative solutions on how to use this thing, maybe, you know, what kind of tripods I should use. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys on the next one.